Hello students, as many of you have requested me for making a video on important questions from the university exams point of view for this subject, that is electronics engineering. So here I have made this video, and let us go through the very important questions module wise for the subject. So the first module was related to the PN junction. PN junction. So the important questions from this unit are, see, first of all, you must know what is the concept of depletion layer and potential barrier. So you might be asked in the exams, defined depletion layer and potential barrier. It might come in 2 marks. So first of all, we must know it. Second thing, explain the VI characteristics of PN diode. Very important question. Explain VI characteristics, where we draw the graph of voltage versus current for the PN diode. And we also indicate knee voltage, breakdown voltage over there. So this is very important question. Now the third question could be related to explain the working of bridge rectifier or full wave rectifier. So explain the working of full wave bridge rectifier. See, center tapped rectifier is rarely asked usually. I am giving these questions on the basis of the experience of the previous question papers. So full wave, if you are asked about full wave rectifier, then also you can explain bridge rectifier, and if you are specially asked for bridge rectifier, then you have to explain only bridge rectifier. So explain the working of full wave bridge rectifier. Calculate the PIV of each diode. So for any of the diodes, you can calculate PIV of diode, and you could be also asked to calculate the ripple factor and efficiency of rectifier. So for that, you must know the values of, just go through very well the values of VRMS, VDC for half wave and full wave rectifier both. And then you must know the general formula for ripple factor, you must know the general formula for efficiency, and putting the values of VRMS and VDC or IRMS and IDC over there, you can simply calculate the values. So you must, this question is very important, and if the question does not come in the same form, then it will surely come in some or the other form. So this was the question related to rectifier. Now next question can be related to the voltage multipliers. So you could be asked to simply explain voltage multiplier as I have written over here, or you could be asked to write a short note on half wave or full wave voltage doubler. Okay, so if you are asked voltage multipliers in general, then draw the diagram of voltage tripler and quadrupler. Please refer to my video. There is a single diagram for voltage tripler and quadrupler, and in that particular diagram we come across all the multipliers, that is doubler, tripler and quadrupler. So you can draw that in general, that is for voltage multiplier. And if you are specially asked to write short note on half wave and full wave doubler, then you must know it. So write short note on half wave voltage doubler. Full wave is more important, or full wave voltage doublers. So this is important. Then a very important question comes next, that is to differentiate or distinguish Zener and avalanche breakdown. Zener and avalanche breakdown. That's an important question. Next question is related to the two terminal devices, that means LED, LCD and all. So explain the principle of operation of LED. This has come many a times in the exams. Explain the principle of operation of LED. Very important question. It might come under 2 marks. Now second question can be related to the tunnel diode, and the tunnel diode characteristics are frequently asked in the exams. Explain the characteristics and working of tunnel diode, or you can be asked construction of tunnel diode. So just go through tunnel diode very thoroughly. It is an important question. Now you could be given a numerical on rectifier, or you could be given a numerical on just learn the circuit diagrams very logically, and you must know how the circuits of rectifiers and the clippers, clampers work. Okay, so you might be asked a numerical on that, and always learn the direction of the diodes in the diagram. So that is very important. I usually see that the students place the diodes in the reverse direction in the case of bridge rectifier. That is not the case, and if you are reversing all the diodes, then the output waveform changes accordingly. Okay, so just learn the direction of the diodes properly. So these are the important questions which are related to the first module. Now in the second module, that is module 2, that was BJT and FET. Now first question, you must know the working. Okay, I will start even from prior to that. Under 2 marks question might come that why BJT is called bipolar. Let us start from the very beginning. Why BJT is bipolar? Second question could be why BJT is current controlled device. Then the second question could be related to the construction of BJT, that the base is made thin and lightly doped as compared to emitter and collector. Why? So you have to give here the reason that why you have made base thin and lightly doped. Now the next question could be explain the working of NPN transistor. NPN transistor, or you could be even asked explain the working of common base transistor. So don't get confused, that is the same thing in active mode. So just you have to write the same answer in all the questions, and don't wait for the examiner to ask for the transistor current equation to write. Just write it on your own, because you will get the marks for that. Okay, so write the transistor current equation that is related to the 3 currents of the transistor. IE is equal to IB plus IC. You must also include that in your answer. Draw the diagram properly and explain the operation. So this question might come. Another question that I think that will surely come in the exams is to explain, and if the paper is made on important topics, then this is one of the very important topics. Explain the characteristics of input and the output characteristics of common base configuration. Either you will be asked this question, or you will be asked to explain the input and the output characteristics of common emitter configuration. Either of the questions will be surely asked in the exam, I think so, because they both are very, very important, or it could happen that both could be asked. So This is a very important topic and we must be well aware with this topic. Now the next question might be related to the FET part, and very important question comes that explain FET as voltage variable resistor, that is VVR, voltage variable resistor. This is a very good question. So explain FET as VVR. Next question could be related to why FET is unipolar. And the other two questions include construction. You might be asked to explain the construction, working, and characteristics of, you might be asked to explain the construction, working, and characteristics of N-channel JFET, where you must know the concept of pinch-off voltage and cutoff voltage. You must know it very thoroughly. And you could be also asked, this is also an important question, explain the working and characteristics of N-channel depletion MOSFET. It usually comes under 10 marks. And similarly, the same thing could be asked for enhancement MOSFET. So draw the diagrams for the characteristics and the working very clearly. N-channel enhancement MOSFET. Very good and nice topic that we must know being an electronics student. Now module 3 comes about op-amp, and another part is IoT, Bluetooth and all. So the first question that is very important related to the op-amp topic is that first of all, you might be asked to explain the inverting configuration of op-amp or inverting amplifier, or you might be asked to design an inverting amplifier, and some values might be given to you with some input impedance, okay. I have covered these all under the in my video on op-amp, so you might refer them. I'm sorry. So this is inverting amplifier with input impedance. Some might be given to you, it might be 10 kilo ohm, and gain might be given, gain of minus 20. Okay, so you might be asked to design an inverting amplifier even, or sometimes this question comes like how the input voltage gets reversed using op-amp, explain. So in that particular case also you have to explain the inverting operational amplifier. And whenever you are asked to explain the inverting operational amplifier, you just have to draw the circuit, derive the expression for the output voltage and gain. That's all. No theory is required. Similarly, you might be asked to explain the non-inverting configuration, or you might be asked to design a non-inverting configuration where the values of gain will be given to you and some input impedance might be given to you. Okay. Similarly, you must explain non-inverting amplifier. This is important. Similarly, you must know the concept of unity gain amplifier and it might come under 2 marks. Unity gain amplifier, also called voltage follower. Okay, you must know the concept of unity gain amplifier. Then a question which I think should come in the exams and which is very important for the electronic students is explain op-amp as integrator and differentiator. Very, very important. Then you must know the formula for the op-amp as summer, that is adder, and you might be given a circuit of an adder, so you must recognize the circuit and you must simply apply the formula where you will just keep the values and you will get the answer. So just remember the formula. These are the important things. Questions might come apart from this, but these are the important topics that I feel. So remember, the formula of op-amp as adder, very, very important, which was V0 equals to minus RF V1 upon R1 plus V2 upon R2 plus V3 upon R3 and so on, if you find other voltages and resistances there. So just refer to the video of adder, op-amp as adder. You will get to know what is V1 referred to, what is R1, what is minus RF. You will all get to know this. Now the second question that might come in your exams, that is related to IoT. First of all, you must know what are the IEEE standards. For Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Okay, so it is IEEE 802.11 for Wi-Fi, and for Bluetooth it is IEEE 802.15.4. So these are the IEEE standards for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Now next question, you must know the definition of IoT. These topics have come for the first time, so we don't have any past experiences. And you must know what are the components of IoT. What are the components of IoT, where you have to mention the 4 components, that is sensors, then data analytics, then storage, cloud computing. You have to explain them. So what are the components of IoT? Or you can if what are the components of IoT is not asked, then instead of this you might be asked how IoT works. So there also you have to write the same thing. Okay, so this is the question on IoT. Then you must know the concept of microprocessor and microcontroller. You must know what is the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. You must know what are the various types of sensors. Very good question. We have learnt many sensors like chemical sensor, gas sensor, water sensor. Okay, so there are many types of sensors. You must know all of them. So what are the various types of sensors you must know. Then you must have a brief overview of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi technology. You might be asked to write short note. So write short notes on Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. So you must know all this. Okay. So these are the important questions which are related to module 3. Now let's come on to module 4, that is digital electronics. And there, first of all, you must know, and I will not be writing the questions over here. You must know, I'll write the points over here that you must know. Okay, so you must know the De Morgan's theorem, very, very important. That will help you to minimize the expressions using Boolean algebra. You must know the formulas that we have learned, that there were only 4 formulas that we have learned to minimize the Boolean expressions. Okay, then you must know what are the universal gates, that is only NAND and NOR. Okay, how to realize AND gate by using only NAND gate, how to realize OR gate by using only NOR gate or NAND gate. So you must know all this. Then you must focus, if you now you move on to the K-map, you must focus mainly on 4 variable K-map. You must know 5 and 6 variables also, but I am talking only about the important topics. So you must focus on 4 variable K-map very deeply, and plus don't care conditions also. How to solve them using don't care conditions. Okay. And one thing more, you must know how to solve them in SOAP or POST form. So if you normally solve it, as we have started this strategy, then you will get the answers in SOAP form. That means if you are simply asked, you are given an expression and you are not asked to solve it either in the SOAP or POST form, then by default you will be solving it in the SOAP form, that is sum of product, because you will be mentioning 1 instead of the values that in the blocks that will be given to you in the question, and don't care if given. And if you are asked to solve the question in the POST form, that is the product of sum form, and you are given min terms, that is summation small m, then first of all you have to calculate the max terms. I have thoroughly explained it in my video, please refer to it. First of all, you need to see from the mean terms, SOAP will come. So summation m means SOAP will come. Simply go on solving. And for pi capital M, you will have to fill zeros in the blocks given. And here you will have to fill 1. And you will simply get the answer in POST form. But if you are given summation small m and you are asked to go here, that is the POST form, then first of all you have to come to the pi capital M. That means, for example, a 3 variable K-map like 0, 1, 2 is given. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will be your max terms. That means the remaining blocks will be your max terms. So first of all you will calculate the max terms, then you will go for the POST form. So just refer to the videos, clarify your concepts. Okay, here I frequently see that the students make mistakes here. So please don't do like that. Refer to the videos properly and then solve it. So SOAP and the POST form. So these were the important topics from module 4. Now module 5 is related to communication. And there the important question comes. In module 4, I have left one question that is related to IC technology, where it is very brief topic, where you will see small scale integration, medium scale integration, large scale integration, and very large scale integration. So just learn the comparison of the 4 techniques. Now in the 5th module, that is related to communication, first of all you must know, this question will definitely come, define modulation and why is it required. So here you need to know the needs of modulation very thoroughly. Very important question. Then you must know to evaluate or derive the mathematical expression of AM wave, very important. And in the expression itself you will know the concept of modulation index. Modulation index, very important. Formula will be given small m, EM, capital EM, where EM is the amplitude of message signal upon EC, that is the amplitude of carrier signal. Then you must know a formula that is related to the total power of the AM wave is equal to carrier wave into 1 plus m square by 2. M is the modulation index. So numericals based on this formula will surely come. I think so, because this is very important. Okay, so these are the important topics, and the last topic is related to satellite radars and all, GPRS, GSM, CDMA. So you must know, you might be asked to write short note on GSM, GPRS, CDMA, and you might be asked the elements of satellite and radar communication system. So all this has been discussed in the videos. Kindly go through them, learn them with concept, okay, and especially focus on the diagrams, okay? So which will make you score the marks. So I hope that this video might help you, and all the best for your exams. Thank you.